Hello everyone and welcome to today's webinar. My name is Rachel Klein and I will be your presenter here for the next 20 minutes. Today we are discussing transferring individuals not only from one household in membership to another household, but also moving people back and forth between the membership module and the donations module as well. There's a couple different options for moving people around in your database. Okay, the first thing I want to talk about with you is in membership. So I'm going to open up membership and I'm going to go into people here. And I'm going to go to the Bernard family because they're kind of my go-to family for webinars because there's a couple of them in there. Okay, so here's the Bernard family. If you look over here to the left, you can see Stuart Bernard is in here and he is 23. Let's say Stuart is moving out and he needs to have his own record here in membership. Okay, so we're basically going to grab Stuart's record. We're going to move all the information, all the history that we've put in on him, but we're basically just going to pick him up and we're going to move him and put him into his own unique household, okay? This also works if you have someone who's marrying someone else and you need to pick them out, say, of their parents' household and put them over in with their spouse. This also works if you have two singleton people in your church and they've gotten together. You can also use this feature to combine them into one household. Okay, so first you need to do is go to the individual that you're wanting to move. So in this case, we want to move Stuart. So I've selected Stuart. We can see all his information here on the right. And I'm just going to come right up here to the top and click Transfer Individual. Okay, you can do one person at a time or you can do multiple. So if you have more than one people, let's say Stuart and Eric, they are moving on in together, they're leaving their parents' house, you could check both of them if you needed to. Okay, but let's focus back up here at the top. You have two options. You have a new family option or an existing family option. New family means we're picking up Stuart and we are putting him in his own household, a brand new household for him. Okay. Existing family, this would be used if, say, Stuart married someone else in the congregation and they're already existing in a household in the database. If that's the case, you could choose existing, hit the down arrow, and then select the individual that he needs to then be combined with, okay? So you have new family, existing family. For this example, we're going to stick with new family. Then the first thing you have to specify over here to the right in the family category box is, are they going to be a member or a visitor? You might have other options in here as well if you've customized these categories, but for now we're going to stick with member. Mailing label, this is going to be the new mailing label for Stuart. Address, if you know the address, you can hit the plus sign and go ahead and fill in Stuart's new address information. If you're not sure what it is, you can skip it, come back to it later. Phone number, feel free to put that phone number in there if you know it, mailing code and geographic area if you utilize those fields, and then also some comments if you wish to put those in. Excuse me, the only thing the software is going to require you to do at this time is going to be the family category and the mailing label, okay? So I have those in and I'm going to hit the OK button. Now that's going to give me a little reminder here. This is some tools or some things that you need to check on to make sure it's correct now that you're switching some family members around. So you need to check on both the from family, so this would be the family they were originally in or coming from, and then the family you're moving them to. So make sure the mailing label is correct, make sure the directory report orders are correct, individual sorting order, which is over here on the left, and then also the family photos. So you don't need to do anything with this message. It's just here to help you make sure you're updating everything you should. So I'm going to say OK, and now here you can see we're still on the original Bernard family, and now we just have 3 people. But if we come up here to the top and we look for Stuart, we can see now here is Stuart's family. Here is his mailing label that we put in. Again, if I need to put his address in, I can come back over here. But now, because he's in his own family, his family relation isn't going to be child anymore. And that's what that message was referring to. You need to make sure you come in here and you update these fields for him now that he is on his own. So family relation, he's going to be an adult. Directory report order, since he's the only person in this family, he has to be the primary. And then just kind of glance down these fields. These are customizable, so yours might be a little different, but make sure all the information you need corrected, you've done so. All right, also one thing I want to point out, giver number. If you use donations, the giver number came with him, okay? So that is how you can easily transfer someone into a new household, okay? Let's talk about moving people back and forth through membership and donations. This is what the document is focusing on. So a couple things I want to explain before we jump into this. You have the option to enter people into directly the membership module. If they are entered into the membership module, their information will carry through and show up in the donations module. Okay, so you can put pledges and giving on them, etc. If you enter someone just in the donations module as a donations giver, that record will not show up in membership. Okay, so if you enter them over here as a member or a visitor, that information carries over into donations. But if you put them just in donations as a donations giver, that information does not carry over into membership. Okay, so let me point it out to you too, just to clarify how they look different. So if you go into manage givers here in this mem.don giver column, you can see, okay, this Nina person, they exist over in the membership module. If you hover it over, it's going to tell you that. Now these DONs, these people are donation givers, which means these records with the DON only exist over here in donations, okay? Why would you set someone up only in donations? It could be because maybe you had a memorial at your church. They came, they already have a church home, they're not joining yours, but they made a donation and you need to get them a statement. So you have to put the donation in, okay? If that's the case, then you could just put them over here in the donations module and not clutter up your membership side, okay? But let's say someone who did come to a memorial at your church decides, I'm going to keep coming back. I want to be part of this church. If that's the case, it would be best to take their record and put them over into membership so you can track their membership date, you can track their birthday, all of that information over on the membership side as well. Okay, so what we can do is we can take this donations giver and we can pick them up and move them over into membership. Excuse me. So I'm going to walk you through how to do that here. Let's say Jeffrey is one of those people who we want to pick up this record and also share it over in membership. Okay, I'm going to close out of here. And right up at the top under givers, I'm going to click on transfer to membership. Sorry, I have a tickle in my throat, pardon me. Okay, so when we go up here to transfer to membership, you can see all of these people here are individuals or groups that have been entered directly into the donations module. So these are the people that we have the ability to turn into membership individuals, okay? So let's work with Jeffrey because he was kind of the one we were looking at earlier. I'm going to check Jeffrey because he's whom I want to move to membership. And then if we look over here to the right, I have to fill in what category I want Jeffrey to be a part of when he gets into membership. So I'm going to hit the down arrow and I'm going to change him to a visitor. Maybe he'll join eventually, but for now he's a really active person. He's a really active visitor. So I'm going to go with that visitor category. You can do more than one here if you wish. For now, we're just going to play with Jeffrey. So check that box, set his visitor category, and then I'm going to come down here and hit transfer. Are you sure you wish to transfer these selected givers to membership? I'm going to say yes, and then it's going to basically pick up Jeffrey's record, turn him into a membership individual. And we know that membership individuals, that data still carries over into donations. So he's still going to exist in both in donations, but now he's going to exist in membership as well. So if we come back into Manage Givers, here's Jeffrey. Now his type column says membership. All right. If we jump back into membership, I can easily look up Jeffrey. Oops, let me refresh real quick. Sorry about that. I want to close out and come back in. Let the database rebuild here. Back to membership. Back to people. And now here's my Jeffrey. And here is his giver number that came with him as well. But at this point, I would need to go through and update these membership fields best I can. Okay, pretty straightforward. Now, and the last option you have for transferring people would be taking membership individuals and sending them over to donations. So they no longer exist in membership, but they will exist over in the donation side. Again, this is not something I see too terribly often, but it is available to you if you decide you want to do that. Maybe you kind of want to clean up your database a little bit. It's up to you. So we're going to go up to right here, people, transfer to Dona. Oops, it wants me to close this window. Transfer donations. Now, this obviously has a big red scary message at the top. It wants you to read through this and make sure you understand what data is going to be kept. Reader's Digest version of this would be there is a lot of information that membership tracks on people. You have your attendance. Not only that, you have any of those additional fields like their membership date, their baptism date, things like that. So make sure you read through this because a lot of that data that you specifically tracked in membership, because that's what it's designed to track, isn't trackable over in donations, okay? It's not designed to do that. So you need to just keep in mind that if you do decide to take someone out of membership and put them over in donations, not all of their membership data will come with them. So that's basically all this message is saying, and you have to check and understand what you're doing with that. So once you check that box, you can hit next, okay? Then it's going to pull up all of your people listed here, all of your membership people that have the ability to move, whether that's a member or a visitor. Hit the little plus sign here, and I'm going to say we want to move. Well, we just moved Jeffrey over. Let's pick Miss Nina instead. We'll check Nina. Here's her directory report order. Does she give with family? You can specify if there's someone she needs to give with here. She's the only one in her family, so she doesn't. Phone, email, and then if she has a giver number as well. This is what is going to go over into the donation side. Okay, if this is looking the way you want it, you're going to go ahead and hit transfer, and this is going to take Nina and turn her into a donations giver. Okay, so that will remove her record from membership, and this record of her will only now exist in donations. Okay. So I hope that was clear for you guys. That's everything I wanted to go over with you today.